Thank you for joining us this morning. We get ready to play Bowling Green this weekend. Coach, you want to give the opening statement and then open to questions?
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. Disappointing loss at Toledo, in-conference opponent. To lose the way we did, giving up 45 unanswered points after a really fast start, on all sides of the ball was disappointing. I think it's evident to everybody that this football program is going in a really good direction, and we're better. But sometimes better isn't good enough, right? And we've got to continue to challenge ourselves and one another to reach our maximum potential. Still very much believe in this locker room. This locker room still very much believes in themselves, and we know our best football is yet to come. So excited to keep pushing.
Coach, defensively, when you look back at the tape against Toledo, where are some of the biggest adjustments you feel like you could have made to improve that performance?
Yeah, I think they had a good plan in the run game. They're a big physical group up front, and I think that showed as the game went on. They're efficient on offense, and whether it's run game or throw game, I thought we missed a couple opportunities for takeaways. There was a throw, over the middle to a slot receiver. I can't remember if it was 2 or 12 that caught it. DJ Barnes is right there to make a play and doesn't come down with it. Their touchdown before the half, we got a great pass rush, and guy scrambles around and makes a really good play against really good coverage by Derek Jackson. Is getting everybody together, right? We're really good on defense when we play together, and as we're faced with adversity and challenge, handling adversity and our response to that, those difficulties, handling that together is important as we continue to grow.
Newman had 13 carries for 61 yards. He averaged still over 4 yards per carry. I understand Gavin got 7 carries. As the game started to get into the second half, because you were behind a little bit more, is that likely the reason maybe why he didn't get as many touches in the second half you had to throw?
Yeah, for sure. I thought going in the locker room at halftime, it was a critical junction in the game. We had just given up a touchdown. I think there was 30 seconds left in the second quarter. When you talk about the middle 8 in college football, and that last 4 minutes of the first half and that first 4 minutes of the second half, and we're down 7-0 in that middle 8 going into the locker room, and they had a chance with the ball coming out, and I thought our defense responded extremely well. Offensively couldn't put anything together there to start the third quarter and build on that momentum, which was disappointing. And then you get the turnover, the block punt, and all of a sudden you're chasing points and have to rely a little bit more on the throw game than originally anticipated. But really excited about Jordan's growth, and again, the 1-2 punch of those guys in the backfield is critical as we continue to.
Just in general, just your health updates for this week
Yeah.
going into the Bowling Green game.
Yeah, we're a little banged up. There's a couple guys, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, typical football stuff. Nothing that's going to keep anybody out of a game right now in this moment. We'll see through continued medical reports today and check-ins today. But this is a next man up mentality football team, right? The design, of our staff and playing a lot of players is for these moments, right? So the guys that are, maybe backups or third on the depth chart, they've got game experience, and that'll pay dividends for us.
In this league this year, the home team in the Mid-American Conference has won at least over 70% of the time, possibly even more. What do you make of that statistic? That I get they're the home team, but in this conference, the home team has won more than most conferences.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good stat. You're a numbers guy. It's hard to win on the road, period. It's hard to win, period. But doing it on the road is especially challenging. From an environment standpoint and a support standpoint, to have, light-colored jerseys in the stands and fans that are supporting you is important for, college age kids, and that's a real thing. Home field advantage is a real thing. I wasn't aware that it was that much different in the MAC than anywhere else, but you look across college football and, whether it was Tennessee going to Alabama or, any road matchup, right? It's tough to win on the road. Ole Miss, Georgia was another one. It's tough to win on the road.
Yeah. Last question I have for you, Coach. Tell me what you know about Bowling Green and how good it feels to be back at home inside Dick Stadium, because you guys have played very well there this year.
Yeah, it feels great to be back home. Anytime you can play in front of an energized fan base like we have right now is special. I know our guys look forward to being at home and sleeping in their own beds on Friday night, and our fans have been awesome, right? And continuing to build on our brand and grow our brand of football is critical. This is a military appreciation week for us. Got great respect for our troops. A lot of connection to the military, so excited to honor them this week. We have been playing good at home. Hoping to build on that growth this week for sure.
Coach, this is the first time you'll get to play against Bowling Green as a head coach, and
Yeah.
you were there for 5 seasons. Would this win mean a little bit more than any other, or just would be just another win for you?
I mean, again, opponents are opponents, results are results. Do have a history at Bowling Green. Was there for 5 years. Great memories there. Great players, great coaches. A member of their staff, their special teams coordinator, Alex Bear, was our tight end. For a MAC championship win there, and he does a heck of a job. Coach George in his first year is doing an outstanding job. When you watch them on tape, they're building something special there, and that's exciting to see for the conference. Getting them at home and the opportunity. The last time I was here as a member at Bowling Green was one of the most memorable games for me as a coach. So excited to welcome them back here and put our best foot forward at Dick Stadium.
Rob, you have anything?
Coach, we're up 10-0. About halfway through the first quarter, got all the momentum. You got about 8 minutes field. Looked like you might go for it. Took a timeout and decided to punt. Can you just talk about that decision? And you pinned it back, all the way back to the 11, but it just seemed like Toledo got all the momentum, from that point forward. Can you kind of talk about that, thought process?
Yeah, there were a couple things. We had a play dialed up for the 4th down, and there was a little bit of confusion getting it signaled in. We were down on the clock there and took the timeout, and in that moment, felt really good about where we were, as a team, right, in that game. What we were doing offensively, how we responded defensively, and trusting our defense to keep them pinned back in that situation there, and it didn't happen. So. One of those I'll learn from and we'll learn from as a program. And, we're going to be aggressive. We want to be aggressive, with 4th downs, with gold zone opportunities. And that was one that, again, I'll learn from.
45 yards of total offense in the second half, 4 first downs in the final 3 quarters. Is that a credit to Toledo's defense? I guess how much of a combination is that of, disappointment in our offense, combined with obviously who you're playing?
Yeah, for sure, a combination. I thought, in certain areas we were outcoached as far as adjustments in the second half, and they did a good job in presenting a certain look and then changing that post snap that caused some confusion for the play caller and the quarterback. And credit to them, they're extremely well coached and extremely disciplined in their disguise. But combination. We had some guys get banged up front and lost a little bit of our juice and our ability to run behind them, and put the quarterback in harm's way a little bit. So Drew knows he's got to be better. There were some throws there to make and that we didn't make. But yeah, I would say it's a definite combination of both.
And then it feels like our defense kind of wore down since they had to be on the field so much, and since we weren't getting anything, going in the second half. Did that have a domino effect on how the defense performed?
Yeah, I think so. Playing as many snaps as they did in the second half, is frustrating for sure. An 8-minute drive to end the game. Those are tough. I think we had three offensive plays in the fourth quarter. Again, going back defensively, we've got to make the plays that are there to make. When they're there to make them. They got a crucial conversion to number 2 against tight coverage by a Teak. That was a really good play. We're there to make it. We got to make it. I talked about the DJ Barnes play in the gold zone area. We've got to capitalize, on our opportunities when we get them defensively.
My last one, Coach. When Rivera went out, the lineup on the offensive line, he made some other changes, on the O-line throughout the rest of the game. Was that kind of because he got hurt, or was it more of a performance thing? You were maybe looking for some other guys to step up a little bit?
It was very much based on health, and a couple guys' injuries to this point.
Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Rob.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.